The golden haze of a Georgia afternoon filtered through the magnolia leaves as I pulled into the driveway of the old family home in Savannah. The air hung heavy with the scent of blooming azaleas and distant barbecue smoke, but my hands gripped the steering wheel like it was the last anchor in a storm. It had been just a week since Daniel's funeral, my husband. Gone too soon from a heart that gave out without warning. I stared at my reflection in the rearview mirror, neat hair pinned back. A simple black dress. Eyes hollow from nights spent replaying his last words. Protect what's ours. Emily, he'd whispered in the hospital. I didn't want to be here. At this so-called family gathering. But in the South. Skipping one after a death was like waving a red flag. Questions would swarm like mosquitoes. Better to show up. Nod politely. And slip away. Or so I thought. As I stepped out, gravel crunching under my heels. Laughter drifted from the backyard, easy, carefree sounds that clashed with the ache in my chest. Guests on the porch offered those pitying nods that lingered a beat too long, like they were sizing up how broken I really was. Inside, the kitchen buzzed with familiar chaos, someone slicing peach cobbler, another stacking plates of ribs and cornbread. The air was thick with smoked meat and sweet tea, a comfort I once loved but now felt like a mockery. There, by the sliding doors, stood Marcus, Daniel's brother, my brother-in-law, playing host like he'd owned the place for years. His smile reached me across the room. All teeth and no warmth. Glad you could make it. Emily, he said. Loud enough for ears to perk up. I murmured a thanks, my voice steady but guarded, and followed the crowd outside. The yard was a postcard of Southern hospitality, red checkered tables, Edison lights strung like stars, kids darting between chairs. But it felt wrong, like celebrating on fresh grave dirt. A week ago, I'd stood graveside in black. Now I was supposed to sip iced tea and pretend the world hadn't tilted. I claimed a seat at the table's shadowed end. Conversations swirling around me like smoke, politics, vacations. Nothing that invited me in. People drifted by with platitudes, good to see you out, or time heals all. Empty words from a script. A woman in florals leaned in, bet you're relieved to escape the house for a bit. She didn't wait for my reply. Across the lawn, Marcus worked the crowd, clapping backs, chuckling at jokes. His eyes flicked my way now and then. Measuring. Probing. It wasn't grief in his gaze, it was calculation. Daniel used to say, "You see folks' true colors when the chips are down." Those words echoed now as I scanned the faces. A cousin muttered to his wife, "Marcus is really sprucing the place up, looks sharper already." She glanced at me, then away, agreeing in a hush. Sarah, Marcus's wife, floated by with brownies. Grab one before they're gone, her smile plastic, eyes distant. I tried joining a chat about local elections, but the group shifted. My words falling flat. From the grill, Marcus's voice boomed, "Finally fixed that fence proper, took some real initiative." He shot me a quick look, lips twitching. The group laughed. Not uproariously, but enough to sting. That fence had been Daniel's project, slow. Sure. But his. The job landed like a hidden thorn. And I kept my face neutral. The kind that makes people underestimate you. As dusk crept in, I noticed the changes creeping like vines. The garden chairs Daniel and I had chosen were gone, swapped for sleek new ones. The tool shed gaped open, shelves rearranged. In the kitchen, his mug collection, quirky ones from our trips, had been shoved to a high shelf, out of reach. Marcus gestured toward the house with a group, making some updates. Gotta keep things functional. A neighbor paused by me, so, "You're still hanging around here for now." The "for now" burrowed under my skin, implying temporary, like I was a guest overstaying. Marcus caught my eye, raising his glass in a mock toast. The lights flickered, casting warm glows on faces. But my chest tightened, not from loss this time, but from the dawning certainty that this was no accident. Something was brewing, and I was the target. Then came the clink, Marcus tapping his glass with a spoon, drawing the yard to silence. Smoke curled from the grill, the evening air thick as molasses. I froze, hands around my cup, a knot twisting in my gut. Sarah stood beside him, poised like a supportive statue. His eyes locked on mine. Deliberate. "Thanks for coming, everyone," he started, voice carrying like a preacher's. "After the past week, it's good to reflect on family, health, making the most of what we've got." Murmurs of agreement. He paused, that glint in his eye sharpening. "And with that, I've decided Emily's room will become my home gym." The words slapped like cold water. Silence jagged. Then awkward chuckles rippled. "You serious?" someone asked. "Bold move," another drawled, stretching the discomfort. I sat rigid, heat building behind my eyes, but I willed calm. This wasn't spur of the moment. Sarah's subtle nods screamed rehearsal. Whispers floated. "Guess she won't stick around long. About time that space got used." Eyes avoided mine. Plates suddenly fascinating. Marcus didn't glance back. He landed his blow. Humiliation burned. But no one stepped up. Messy sides. Better to let it fade. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Maya Angelou's words anchored me. Shock ebbed to controlled fury, the kind that watches, waits. I tapped my cup softly, drawing nearby glances, then nodded thinly at Marcus like we'd agreed. Standing, I slipped away without a word. Sarah intercepted me on the porch. "You get it, right? Just moving forward." Fresh energy. I met her eyes. "Nothing personal?" My smile was sharp enough to make her retreat. Inside, the house muffled the laughter. I headed to my room, door ajar. Through the gap, a cardboard box. Foreign linens piled. The air felt violated, like fingerprints on glass. I pushed in, the quilt refold wrong. Drawers cracked open. This room was our sanctuary, books we shared. Photos on the dresser. Daniel's leather chair by the window. At the bed's foot, the cedar chest, his find from a local craftsman. "Everything important's in here," he'd said. "If anything happens, keep it close." Now, it wasn't just a room at stake, it was my last hold on us. And the legal shields inside. I locked the chest, key in my pocket, and spotted another box in the hall crammed with our photos. Cards. Even our wedding invite. Glass cracked on a Tybee Island shot, us laughing in the sand. These weren't junk, they were our story. Discarded like trash. Rage surged. I wanted to storm out, demand reckoning, but timing was key. Power and patience. I carried them back, restoring each piece. Shadows lengthened. Marcus's voice drifted, already halfway cleared. My fingers clenched the key. That sealed it. He wouldn't take another inch without war. 2 days later, the house hummed with deceptive calm. Savannah's humidity slowing everything like syrup. I'd kept low, brewing coffee pre-dawn, tending the garden, sorting papers in my room, routines masking my recalibration. A knock shattered it. But no one there, just an envelope under the door. My name block printed. Weighty paper. Sealed tight. I slid it open, formal, like a business memo. Marcus wrote of optimizing spaces for household benefit. Core punch, 1 week to vacate my room for the conversion. Wrapped in civility, family harmony, resources, but signed in pen. Let's keep this civil. My pulse thrummed. This was no ask. An eviction clock, rebranding me as transient. I filed it in the cedar chest with deeds. Insurance. The will, evidence mounting. Widows' forums echoed. Document it all. By afternoon, in the kitchen steeping tea. Voices leaked from the dining room. Marcus. To his uncle. She doesn't chip in anymore. What's she really entitled to? Slow words. Seeding doubt. Utilities. Dead space. Kettle hissed. I gripped the counter. Knuckles white. I'd covered bills. Renovations. Groceries, contributions he'd erased. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor's wisdom steadied me. I passed them without a glance. My neutral faced their unease. My room became headquarters, notebook logging dates. Interactions. The letter. Overheard barbs. I called a non-family friend, might need a lawyer soon. She hooked me discreetly. Before bed, I noted a reminder for Harlan, Daniel's old pal. Will expert. As I locked my door, Marcus's voice slithered. 1 week. Emily. Don't make it ugly. Dare accepted. The fight brewed. The morning after the ultimatum. Dawn barely broke when I rose, replaying his threat like a loop. Don't make it ugly. Humiliation simmered. But action trumped stewing. The house silent, cars gone, I moved freely. In the dining room, Marcus's laptop bag splayed. Papers peeking. Not my habit to pry. But the invite-like disarray halted me. Top sheet, preliminary offer. Closing timeline. Printed emails from a local realtor. Dated weeks back, buyer interest. Inspections. 6-week close. Breath caught. This wasn't room grab, it was house sale prelude. Mia's obstacle. Clarity cut through fury. I'd seen widows' tales, in-laws liquidating fast. I photographed each page meticulously, restoring them. Coffee bitter on my tongue. I met Harlan downtown at a quiet cafe. Daniel's college buddy. Eyes knowing. I spilled. Barbecue humiliation. Ultimatum. Emails. His brow furrowed. Daniel left you a life estate, he said. Right to live here for life, ironclad in the will. He can't evict or sell without you. Relief surged. Laced with suspicion, Marcus knew? Pressure to break me first. Get a certified copy, Harlan advised. Don't tip your hand. His foresight felt like Daniel's ghost. Protective. We planned discreetly. 2 days for docs. Home empty. I secured photos in the chest. Resolve hardening. Footing gained, the war shifted. Evidence secured. I wove through the gathering like a shadow. Smiling at greetings. Nodding through small talk. All while tracking Marcus. In my pocket. The USB drive found in Daniel's desk false bottom, held scans, will. Records. Life estate clause. Insurance naming me beneficiary. Trump's card. Daniel's whisper from beyond. I'm not leaving, I mouthed silently. As night thinned, I positioned in the hallway exit. Marcus approached. Charm fading at my words, we need to talk. His smile hitched. Eyes searching, first crack visible. By Saturday. Cars lined the street for Marcus's open house, him greeting like a king. Funneling guests to the new gym, my room. Treadmill gleaming. He sold the narrative, revitalizing. Family-friendly. I watched from upstairs. Logging, photos of intrusions. Videos of noise. Neighbor whispers. Folder thick. I slipped outside door to Harlan and my lawyer. Benedict. Idling nearby. Everything, Benedict asked. I handed over. If he locks me tonight. This survives. Harlan, let him parade, you own the finale. Back inside. USB warm in pocket. I mingled. Alert. Guests praised the updates, I let the story root. Knowing truth flips narratives. As departures began. Hallway stance again. Marcus passed, we need to talk. Smile faltered deeper, confidence fracturing. Marcus dubbed it a family meeting via text. Casual veneer hiding his scramble. Dining room tense, coffee. Muffins untouched. Relatives eyeing us. Sarah averted gaze. Prepared. Bag with will copy. USB. Neighbor statement. Daniel's letter. Phone recorder ready. Marcus at head. Tapping authority. But I placed Daniel's sealed envelope first. His eyes flicked. Breaking seal. I read aloud, Emily. If you're reading this, I can't say it myself. Stay in this house as long as you want your lifetime. Protect what we built. I fear pressure after I'm gone. Don't yield. This is your home. Room shifted, leans back. Stares down. Sarah's eyes dropped. I continued, opened now to clarify. USB next, will. Records. Life estate. Benedict confirmed. Valid. Enforceable. Can't sell without consent. Murmurs. Then neighbor's statement. Overheard sale plans. My removal assumed. Ripples grew. I leaned in. I'm not leaving. End of discussion. Marcus. Family's best. I cut. This is honoring promises. Support evaporated. His brittle smile cracked. If that's it, it is. Meeting dissolved. Whispers trailing. As he passed, not over. Softly, for you. Maybe. For me. Beginning better. A week post-confrontation. Quiet wasn't peace, tension hummed. Marcus distant. Projects outside, Sarah polite chill. Victory bittersweet, family illusion shattered. But independence real. Gossip spread, neighbors warmer. Good standing your ground. Sale fizzled on life estate leak. Friend snubbed him at market, quiet justice. Arc bends toward justice, I felt it. Reclaimed room, chair by window. Desk added. Chest polished. Wrote Daniel letters, victories. Growth. Started Widows Network over coffee, foundation building. Afternoon mail, looping hand. No return. Note, we need to talk about what he told me before he died. Story unfinished. The envelope vibrated unresolved on my desk. From Cal Whitaker, Daniel's fishing pal. Steady script. He worried Marcus would push post-funeral. Check cedar chest for safe deposit key and blue tape under letters. Power surged. Key there. Bank meeting with Benedict. Harlan. Duplicates of will. Notarized letter. Records. Last piece. Sunday. Invited Marcus. Sarah. Relatives. Cal. Living room staged. Folders dated. Vase anchoring. Marcus entered cocky, resolving this. We are. Laid timeline. Barbecue to lock change. Photos. Logs. Then emails. Not room. Sale staging. He deflected. Inquiries. Benedict. Illegal without consent. Daniel's letter read. Wishes. Fears. Room softened. Eyes dabbed. Gazes waver. Cal. He loved this house because of her. Safe deposit docs next. Life estate highlighted. Benedict red clause. Bank notice. Neighbor statement. Manipulations detailed. Marcus frayed. Ambush. You tried erasing me plain. Legal notice. Interference triggers action. Keys box. Access revoked. Scheduled via counsel. He laughed disbelief. Can't. Can. Am. Silence recalibrated. Power mine. Cal. He'd be proud. Marcus left. Sarah trailing. Doorway. Regret making ugly. For you. For me. Over. Aunts pressed hands. Apologies. Benedict packed. Harlan checked cameras. Cal. Prune the magnolia, it'll bloom bigger. Alone. Sunlight honeyed floors. Tea at desk. Last letter. We said it right. Turning back room to widow's space. Your chair's home. Simple plan worked. Not revenge, repair. Weeks. Rental plans. Group coordination. Tonight. Quiet earned. Door deadbolt clicked. Palm on wood. This house is mine. Key turned, peace held.